It's showtime. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Hey. Oh, let me turn my light on so y'all can see me. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Say hey. Say hey. I'm trying to get my headphones in. I don't know why that's not working, but okay. So today we're going to be discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 episode. What is this? 8, I believe. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. And as you enter, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know that you made it here. Let me throw that up. Remember, y'all, drop a like and a comment as you enter the room. I didn't take a whole lot of notes for today's episode, but you know, I do have a few thoughts. Ooh, I feel myself about to sneeze. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay. All right. So the episode starts off with the ladies still on the bus, honey. They just were informed, of course, that Kenya was bringing baby Brooklyn, and the girls are starting to feel away. But Candy made it a point to say that, Kenya does not have the help that the rest of the ladies have, and so that's why she decided to bring Brooklyn onto the trip. And I mean, I do understand that. I think that it does have to be tough because Kenya is definitely acting as a single mother right now. So I get it, but I also get why the ladies felt a little bit of a way as well. Just because, again, it's about communication. It's all it is. It's as simple as communication. Letting the other girls know what's going on so that they are aware if they wanted to bring their children or not or whatever. But anyway, so while we're at the house, we see LaToya and Kenya meeting with these people to do a murder mystery. And honey, this murder mystery ended up being a big old fail. I understood Kenya wanted to do something different for the trip and everything, but like activity wise. But honey, that murder mystery was the ultimate fail. But anyway, so we see them kind of getting it set up, and she says, well, they make a comment about the guns because of the climate that we're in. We just can't have a whole bunch of white cops running in here with guns and think everybody's going to be okay with it. I understood that. I was like, all right, you better let them know. And if things can get real messy really quick. Cynthia shows up. They show her room. Cynthia, of course, is very much so happy with her room. Now, y'all remember the diagram that we have on the second floor. Cynthia, Toya, and Kenya and everybody else is spread across the bottom floor. Finally, 8 hours later, the ladies arrived to the house. I'm trying to understand, why did it take them 8 hours to get from Atlanta to South Carolina? Even with traffic, I've made that drive many a day, and that has never taken 8 hours. I think something went awry, honey. They already ain't have no air on the bus. Then you doubled the trip to go up the street. What's going on, Bravo producers, shady Bravo producers? I feel like something about that just seemed set up-ish. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But they get to the house and they want to start having a good time. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my notes back up. They get to the house and they're trying to, start to have a good time. They start drinking, they start laughing, turning up, and then all of a sudden this lady runs in and with the knife in her stomach, and falls on the floor, and everybody's sitting there looking with the confusion face, like, what is happening here? And I feel like she should have maybe warned them what was going on, because like this whole the way this whole scene went, everybody was confused. Even LaToya looked confused, and she knew what was going on. But we find out that it's a murder mystery. Look up under your seats. There's clues everywhere. We have to figure out who's the killer. And once we figure out who the killer is, then we can, the winner of that will get to change their room if they so choose. All right. Basically, this was a epic fail. Tanya, Kenya, and Candy were actually trying to solve the mystery. We already know Candy is competitive, so we knew she would be on it. Kenya set this up, so of course she's gonna try to participate, and Tanya was participating. Everybody else, honey, was like, "Pass me the Tito's." Whack, 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 whack. They dancing with the detectives, and it was an epic fail, knocking lamps over and everything. Basically, Kenya, honey, I don't think Kenya should be the host of the trip. We see this over and over again as this episode goes on. Kenya, you have dropped the ball as the girls' trip host. Okay, you dropped the ball. Number one, with this doggone murder mystery. So basically, they end up going ahead and ending it, and it was some Peter guy who was supposed to be LaToya's photographer. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that part. I did get confused. Whatever. Bottom line is, the game is over with now, so let's go take some tours. But before they take the tours around the house, in comes Fallon. And Fallon's not staying with the ladies. Fallon is actually going to be staying, nearby. And so LaToya says, well, why aren't you staying with us? And she says, well, it's because I brought my husband. And so, he's my best friend. And, the girls go, oh. LaToya goes, no. F that. Why? F that. We don't care anything about him being your best friend. And so Drew takes that time to take a dig at LaToya. She's like, well, we already know she doesn't care anything about husbands. Now, that was a dig, Drew. That was an unnecessary dig that you ain't had to go there. And so this is what kind of causes the little bit of kerfuffle that we have. So when she makes that dig at LaToya, so then they start, showing rooms, but LaToya still feels away. Like, what you mean? What you mean I don't care anything about husbands? And so they show a flashback to where LaToya basically said that it was okay to be out here dating, even though she's separated. Now, we already know that Drew feels away because LaToya has been going around town talking about her wig. And I do think Drew was out of line for that little shady comment that she made. However, as they're walking around on the tour, LaToya decides to try to, like, I guess maybe in her head, she called herself trying to take Drew to the side and correct that statement. She said something about, why don't we talk about your husband or something? But she grabbed Drew's wrist. And so, first off, you're saying something shady and you're putting your hands on her. What did you think was going to happen? I understand that the ladies were a little bit tipsy. You know how it is when you got a little liquid courage in your system. But baby, that wasn't a good idea from the beginning. So, of course, it gets heated. Drew's like, don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. The last person that touched me, I put their head in the gate. I'm from Chicago, Chi-Town. I always find it so hilarious how every time people want to get gangster, they say where they're from. Oh, I'm from Inglewood. I'm from Chi-Town. I'm from Swats, or wherever you're from. Whatever. As if there aren't people in those places that still couldn't get tapped and rocked. I'm just saying. But Drew was very upset about it. So the ladies now are trying to, like, break it up. And Latoya sitting here with the pluck face like she doesn't understand why Drew got upset. What is she mad for? Marlo's trying to break it down to her like, you can't just be coming up and trying to touch nobody. But Latoya isn't listening, which kind of aggravates Marlo. So then Marlo leaves Latoya and goes over there to Drew and was like, well, I was trying to tell her, what was going on. And Drew is very upset. She's in there like, don't get in my space. So they end up convincing Latoya to come over there to apologize to Drew. So as she's coming over there, she's still not coming over there with a apologetic energy. That's just not even her energy. She's still kind of coming on some like, well, I'm just saying, like, da da da. She was coming up too close. You coming up to apologize. I don't need you to be in my bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of come a little bit more on the humbleness. That's all I'm saying. But she gives a sorry apology that Drew does not seem to really accept, and they decide to move on with the night. And Cynthia makes a comment that that Latoya has had enough to drink. And maybe that is it. But also, I think that is just kind of Latoya. I think Latoya is an antagonist. That's just what she is. She gives off very villainry energy. And we don't like to see it. I'm just going to be honest about it. We don't like to see it. Okay. Let's see. So then it's dinner time. And so instead of everybody sitting at the table together to have dinner, because things did get a little heated, we had the nieces in the room and the aunties at the table. Well, Drew started off at the table, but when she realized that, like, she was sitting at the table with Candy, Kenya, Cynthia, and Latoya, she kind of excused herself and went into the room with Portia. So in the room with Portia, we have the nieces, aka Portia, Tanya, Drew, Fallon, Shamia, and Marlo. How Marlo became a niece, I don't know. But Portia tells us that a niece is not about the age, it's about an attitude. And then we have the aunties out there. And basically, Portia's just like, she feels like how I feel. I agree with Portia that Latoya is an antagonist. She just tries to kind of push buttons. She's like, don't let that mess up the trip. And Portia actually kind of stuck up for Kenya in this moment. She was just like, I think Kenya's coming from a good place during this trip. Let's just try to have a good time. Let's not let them bring down the energy. They agree to move forward with it. So they come back into the room and they was like, oh, we brought the Tito's for the TTs, the aunties. And I thought that was kind of funny. Like, at least y'all being straight up how y'all feel about how the energy is going in this trip. But while the TTs, the aunties, were at the table trying to tell Latoya about where she messed up, she's blaming it on the fact that, well, I'm Caribbean, I'm Trini, and we're very much so touchy-feely, but I get it. Don't touch anyone. This is the last time that I want her to use the excuse of her being Trinidadian. That's it. You have officially ran that excuse to the ground. I don't want to hear any more excuses about you being Trinidadian. I'm sorry. There are just social constructs that you already know. You're already in a, like, jabs are being thrown. You're in a, you don't really like each other. Don't touch her. That's social. That's just social common sense. I don't care what nobody says. So they all decide to go ahead and go to bed. Now Marlo is upset because she got the smallest room, the blue room. And so instead of sleeping in this room, she decides to turn the living room into her bedroom. She says it makes her feel like she's in a suite. I just do not understand why we are so butthurt about rooms on a girl trip. You're going to be there for 4 or 5 days. This is not where you're living. So what difference does it make where you're going to go to sleep? It's not like you're just sitting in the room all day. Just go in there and go to sleep. Like, why would you? I don't know. Marlo is doing too much. And especially as a 40 plus 50-year-old woman, like, why are you this bothered about a room that you have? And we see the next day that Marlo is very much so bothered. She's so bothered that she has to sit down and talk with Candy about it. She tells Candy that Kenya putting her in this room really shook her to her core. She was really upset about it. And she doesn't understand why her and Kenya have such a beef and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, this beef goes back because Marlo honestly took Nene's side. And Marlo was honestly, back in the day, like, let's call a spade a spade, Marlo was trying to be a social climber, because as soon as she fell out with Nene, she got super cool with Kenya. But as soon as her and Nene got made back up, she started shading the mess out of Kenya. And so, Marlo, honestly, you were kind of the one that started this feud between you and Kenya. I will say that. But, now I guess she's tired of this feud. She doesn't want it to happen. She feels upset that she was put in this smaller room. She refuses to stay in it. She's even put a sign on the door that is her dressing room. Girl, anyway. The next day, we just get a bunch of different scenes, people hanging around the pool, everybody's just kind of chilling. Nothing really is planned for this day. It's supposed to be a chill day. The one thing that is planned is that Kenya has provided dinner for them. She had some really well-known guy come out to roast the pig. Portia's like, I'm vegan. I'm not gonna eat that. Well, Portia, you can keep your vegan butt over there, because y'all tell me that pig looked good to me. I'd have been all up over Porky, okay? I'd have tore Porky up. He's clean. He's good. It look. I bet you it smelled good in there. I could smell it coming off the screen. I got hungry just looking at it. But before Porky was done, they basically spent the whole day talking about how hungry they were. So there was no other food provided. Kenya said she's providing dinner. Y'all fend for yourselves for the rest of the day. Okay. And at some point, Kenya orders herself some lunch, but she doesn't tell any of the other ladies. And she comes in with this bag with some crab cakes, a crab cake po' boy. And everybody's upset because they're like, what kind of host are you? And honestly, I do agree. If you are supposed to be the host of this trip, I'm not saying that you have to provide them with breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single, but at the same time, it's something as simple as, again, what I was talking about earlier, communication. Hey, I'm about to order me some food. Y'all want something? I'm finna Postmates. I get it. We're all adults. If they wanted to get something to eat, all they had to do was Postmates it themselves. That's true. However, it's just it's like, it's rude. You know what I'm saying? It's just rude. You don't come into, if you're at a meeting or a gathering with friends, you're not going to sit up here and bring your own food and be like, oh, well, y'all ain't gonna eat nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Kenya just does not know how to be a good host. I don't care. She just does not know how to be a good host. What else happened, y'all? Because this episode was just like a whole bunch of little mini scenes. Okay, the other thing that was pertinent, I guess, to talk about, when they woke up the next day and Latoya kind of downloaded to Barth about what, Drew downloaded to Barth about what Latoya did, and of course, she had to tell her husband. And so then we see Latoya, she came back and she has brought a wig for Drew. Now, in what world do you think that this is going to come out cool? Let's make it make sense now. You've been shading this girl's wig all over Atlanta. You've only met her once. This is y'all second time being around each other. But you've been shading her wig all around Atlanta. You done grabbed her last night, and now you think that it would be smart to bring a wig for her. So she's out there at the pool with Cynthia and Candy and Marlo, and she's like, oh, well, I brought her a wig. I thought that she could use it. Girl, Marlo's like, this ain't even no HD lace. First of all, I'm just going to say this. HD lace is not for everybody. I know that, it's new hot term and everybody's like, oh my God, I want HD lace. I want Swiss lace. People don't understand the differences. Don't let Marlo gas y'all up. And y'all sitting up here don't know what HD lace is, don't know how to blend HD lace, and it ain't going with your skin tone. Now you out here looking crazy because you want to be like Marlo and Latoya. I'm going to just say that, number one. But anywho, she pulls this wig out. She's like, well, I'm going to go give it to her. Well, she ends up not giving it to her. We end up seeing later, okay, it's dinner time. We're all sitting at the table. And LaToya, I guess, offers what she thought would be an apology. But even during this apology, she is shading Drew. She's giving her, well, last time I saw you, your hair, it wasn't really tacked down and, it wasn't plucked and it just wasn't that great. So I want to buy you a wig and I want to make sure that it's installed and I want to make sure that it's plucked for you. And Drew, kudos to Drew, because she did not come down from her chariot to throw tomatoes with that witch. She was like, well, I see that you're watching me. I see that you clearly watch me. And because you do, let me sign you this autograph because you're clearly my number one fan. I thought that was a nice, quick read. Also noticed that when she got up from the table to go get this picture to sign, LaToya did shade her outfit. She's like, what is she wearing? I mean, true. What was Drew wearing? But also, LaToya, aren't you apologizing? Aren't you apologizing? How are you shading someone and apologizing at the same time? It doesn't make sense. I'm not here. I'm not seeing it for her. But anyway, that was pretty much like the gist of the episode, y'all. It was entertaining enough. Next week will be Bolo's episode. I'm just saying. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying. Next week will be Bolo's episode. I'm excited to see it. Before I forget, we also did get right at the end of the episode, Marlo trying to. I felt like Marlo was trying to extend an olive branch to Kenya and let her know that she's just tired of all of this drama between them. But Kenya wasn't here for it. Kenya says that Marlo's the one that starts with her. She's always talking about her. Marlo said, well, I just talk about your bad skin and your botched butt. And Kenya can say all she wants, that she did not get, that she has not had anything done to her butt. But I'm going to show y'all this video before I get out of here. Because Kenya has always had a butt. I remember Kenya from the 90s. Kenya has always had a butt. I'm not saying that she hasn't. But Kenya's butt, it doesn't look real anymore. Is the video still up here? Oh, no. It was on Instagram. I was going to pull up this video so y'all could see, because there was a video of her like running on the beach. And I mean, yeah, Kenya looks nice, but this admit it. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's 2021. Most of these women out here have gotten something done, be it a little nip, a little tuck, a little inject, a little butt. It might not be injections. It could have been some fat transfer. Although it doesn't look soft. So that's why it makes me, okay, here go the video, y'all. Look at her butt though. Like seriously, like I'm not being shady at all. I'm just saying that her butt doesn't look real. It doesn't jiggle like a real butt. That's all. I just want her to admit that. I'm pulling it up. Where is it at? There you go. Y'all look at her butt now. I'm just saying. Make it big. I ain't trying to be shady. I'm just trying to be truthful. I can't play it because it got music on it. So I can't play it for you. But watch her butt now. Look at it. Look at it. You can't tell me that is a real butt. I'm sorry. Kenya. And Marlo's calling it out. It's just not real. I'm just saying. Just a side note. I just wanted y'all to see that video. I had ran across that on Instagram. I was like, girl, I have never seen your butt look that fake before. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but I take it back now. Anyway, I do want Marlo and Kenya to, get it together. I do. Oh, one more thing I thought was funny. Just random, look me just ranting at this point. One more thing I thought was funny. When Candy got mad, her confessionals about the food, she's talking about, she was like, you coming in here with this crab cake? I draw the line. I thought that was funny because we already know Candy like to eat. But anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all I got to say about this episode. Like I said, entertaining enough. If y'all have anything that y'all want to say, the link is down in the chat. Y'all can sound off. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes just in case you do want to come in. So before I leave, I want to give a shout out to my Patreons. Remember, shout out to my Patreons. Y'all are the real MVPs. I'm going to be trying to do some special things for y'all in this new year because y'all have definitely been riding with me. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's very simple. All you have to do is go to www.patreon.com/BeStokedStyling and make your pledge. $5, $10, or $25. Currently, I'm trying to get to 20 Patreons, you guys. So make sure you help me reach my goal by clicking the link down in my description box and joining my Patreon. You do not want to miss out on the early access to my videos. Don't forget to order your custom BeStoked Styling merch. That's right, we have merch. Just click the link down below in the description box and order your BeStoked Styling merch today. All right, you guys. Well, that is it for today. I will be back sometime this week for another review or video or something. Make sure y'all join me on Friday. We will be interviewing Miss Georgia for America. Y'all don't want to miss that. Remember to follow me on Instagram so you can submit your questions for our interview. And I will see y'all in the next video. Ooh, excuse me. Peace.